Welcome back. It's The Rush. We're thrilled to have on Kasey Winters, head basketball coach for the Dixie Flyers girls basketball team. They're freshly back from the Section 7 tournament down in Arizona. We're going to talk to them all about it. Of course, Region 9 champs last year and state runner-ups. Welcome back to St. George. I know it was about a week ago, but excited to talk about it, Kasey. First of all, just your overview of how the tournament went for the squad this year.
Yeah, I mean, Section 7 is something we look forward to. It's our second time being down there. So they hold it at the big athletic grounds in Mesa. I think there's 18 courts or so in this building, and you got teams from all over the Western region. It's probably the premier tournament in the West right now. And so you had teams from California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado. So an awesome tournament for us. Last year we were able to win our bracket, and then we got bumped up a few brackets this year. We ended up going 2-2, which was really great for us. We beat Rancho Cucamonga from Southern California on Friday, along with Bora from Boise, Idaho, on Friday as well. And then Saturday, we got challenged, and we lost to a really tough physical team from Denver on Saturday. And then we dropped our last game to South Point Catholic from Tucson, which is a game we probably should have won. But overall, it was a great weekend for us. Like I said, the competition was fantastic. We didn't play any teams that we'd ever played before. And it was a great time. Plus, we were able to sneak in a D-backs game on Friday night.
Oh, nice. I saw a clip of that of the girls singing the seventh inning stretch or something. That looked awesome.
Yeah, 17
I was
stretch. We
gonna
got a ball from an outfielder that threw it to Izzy. So yeah, it was a success.
Dang, that is awesome. I was gonna ask, remind me how teams are selected to compete in this kind of prestigious tournament, regional tournament.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I do know that they have you apply every year. So you got to fill out a form and talk about your team and your wins and losses and the players you have coming back and things like that. And so, you fill that out and then you kind of just get put in a bracket. And I don't know all the ins and outs of that. Like I said,
Yeah.
I do know I felt like the teams we played this year were a little bit more competitive than the teams that we played last year. But overall, like the whole tournament is fantastic. I mean, we were able to watch the number one player in the nation. Special K is her nickname. She plays for a team in California. You see all these, college coaches there. You see, the top 10 players in the nation there. It's a pretty cool experience.
Coach, so much talent returning from that great season last year. Let's talk about some of these players and how they did at Section 7. Let's start with Izzy Hollingshead.
Yeah, I mean, Izzy had a great weekend. I think there was several games. Well, I know probably at least two where she was probably between the 15 and 22, 25 point range. She scored it really well, shot the ball pretty good, and just I mean hardly came off the court. She had a great weekend. Obviously, as always, defended really well. But Izzy did a great job not only scoring but getting other teammates involved, and I think people are starting to see the type of player now that she's moving into her junior year, the type of player that she's going to be not only next year or senior year, but potentially even at the next level.
Excellent. And then let's talk about Addie. What have you been pleased with in her off season so far, and then her performance at Section 7?
Yeah, Addie had a great Section 7 as well. Scored the ball really well. Was really tough defensively. I thought she rebounded the ball better. I think the biggest thing for Addie that she's taken kind of charge in is just being a little more physical. She's hit the weight room pretty hard, and so now she's being a little bit more physical, which is helping her on both ends of the court. And then trying to get her to be a leader and be a little more vocal. But she also had a really good tournament. Scored in the 20s one game and was probably in double digits. The other three games.
Excellent. Let's go to Tylee Wilstead, Coach.
Yeah, TK is going to be one of our seniors, and she is someone that played minutes for us last year, but this year is going to need to step up and be another option for us. And so she had moments in Section 7 where she got rolling a little bit and was able to shoot the ball and score the ball pretty well. And so having her as another offensive threat out there is definitely a key for us.
Excellent. Then let's go to, how about we go to Emma?
Yeah, Emma Aldridge, another senior. Played some varsity minutes last year, not a ton, but will kind of play that 4 or 5 spot for us. And we didn't have Lydia Shirtliff, for this tournament, who was one of our starters last year. So Emma stepped up and does a really good job scoring the ball in the paint. And then as one of our only, we don't have a ton of size on our team, so she is one of our interior defenders and did a good job and held her own throughout the weekend.
Okay. And is Lydia back, coach?
She'll be
For
back. Yeah, she
Oh,
just
good. Okay.
yeah, she just won't. Her family was on a vacation, so she wasn't with us. But yeah, she'll
Okay.
be a junior.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, that's great. Let's go to let's do Audrey next.
Yeah, Audrey had a good weekend considering, she was banged up. She was playing through some injury. So we were really proud of her for playing through and kind of getting out the weekend, even though it hurt. But, she had a couple games where, she was able to stretch the floor for us and hit some big threes and come up with some big rebounds. And so for Audrey, we expect her to have a great season. We just need to get her healthy. So hopefully some time off here the rest of the summer will allow her to be full strength once the season rolls around.
Okay, excellent. And then let's go to Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey Davy, she's another senior that you know was a huge part of our JV team. Played a few varsity minutes, but the thing about Bailey is she can score. She doesn't overthink things. If she gets the ball in a position where she can shoot it, she's going to shoot it, and she scores the ball really well. And so for her, she's another piece that we can add to kind of stretch the floor and give it space. And hopefully she'll just keep shooting the ball when she's open.
Excellent. And then I think lastly we've got Libby here.
Yeah, Libby Westhoff, I thought she had a great weekend. She's another player that plays both ends of the floor. She defends really well. She's physical. She does a really good job rebounding the ball, and offensively, she's starting to loosen up a little bit and not be passive. There's times where we've had to pull her over and tell her to shoot the ball more, and I think she's finally getting to that point where she knows she can shoot if she's open. And so having another dual threat player similar to Addie that will get after it and defend full court. Somebody like Libby, just makes us that much more deep and that much more, tough to not only guard but defensively it makes us really good as well.
So much talent coming back on this team. And then I'll ask you one more question about um, kind of in context Region 9 next year, Coach. You guys are coming back as the region champs, but just kind of what are your thoughts on the group next year on some of these other teams?
Man, we've been able to see quite a few of these teams, throughout the summer. We saw Snow Canyon. They were down at Section 7. They won their bracket. They look amazing. They obviously have Brayley and Fallon, and they've added Scotty Heward, who's going to be a freshman. They've added a couple other players. Crimson is completely revamped with their new coach, and they've added a couple new players. And so I think the region is going to be as competitive as ever. I mean, I think you're going to have 3 or 4 teams. Desert Hills, Pine View is always really good. Snow Canyon, us. Cedar's always tough. I don't think Region 9 is going to be a region to sleep on again. We did see Ridgeline as well. They look really tough, from the northern region.
Yeah.
But if I had to put my money on it, I would say Region 9 is probably the toughest region, top to bottom, in June, and I can't
Yeah,
imagine
right.
it changes much. Can't imagine it changes
Yeah.
much before, November and then eventually into March next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can't not wait. It was a great tournament this past year. It was awesome to be there. and looking forward to it again this year. That's Kasey Winters, everybody, head coach, Dixie Flyers basketball, also the director at Nets on Fire. And by the way, Nets on Fire's got a pop-up camp in a couple of days. Kasey, can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, we would love everyone to come. It's with Fadeaway Fit. His name's Jeremy Hayes. He's been here 5 or 6 times now. He's from West Virginia, but literally travels the world doing basketball camps. And so, he's going to Vegas for a camp, has a few extra hours. He loves St. George. He loves to get here anytime he can. So yeah, on Thursday we just have a pop-up camp. There's a session for the boys. There's a session for the girls. It's a chance to get some work in with one of the best trainers in the country. So yeah, check out our Instagram page at Nets on Fire, and you get the information there. You just Venmo us $40 and come show up, get some work in, and have a good time.
Awesome. Sounds like an awesome deal, and we appreciate Nets on Fire for sponsoring the rush and supporting local athletics down here in Southern Utah and across the whole state. Kasey, thanks so much for your time, and go Flyers, and we'll hopefully be talking again soon.
Okay, thanks, Andy.